look,
crazy.
the Texas Rangers are going to be better.
Well, they can't be worse. Like, look, when you're laying on the basement floor, up is the only direction you have to go. Like, it's not, there's only one way forward for the Rangers. It's not like they had a lot of room to fall further. They were rock bottom. So it's only up from here. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to be better. On this episode of Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots, we talk a little NHL and NBA playoff news. We give you a breakdown of what it would look like if the playoffs started today. We give some college basketball news. The Final Four is set. FAU, San Diego State, Miami, and UConn. We break down those games for you. Talk about the coaching moves that are going on in college basketball. And we talk about Caitlin Clark putting on an absolute clinic for Iowa. Just an awesome performance for her. So we talk about that one quite a bit. We give you a little MLB news. We talk MLB power rankings. Talk a little bit about opening day odds to win the World Series. We give you all the NFL news, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and John gives you some tips in his betting corner.
What's anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win. I don't bet. What do you mean you don't bet? I mean, I go bet.
You're listening to Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Back for another one tonight. I'm sure you guys missed us on Monday. Since we don't have football season, I think we're going to jump this thing back to one day a week. However, we do maybe have some exciting things in the work where we may have a possibility of a daily show coming your way. So we have some things working. We'll keep you posted, but that's why you didn't see an episode on Monday until we get the kinks worked out on maybe the daily show, probably towards the end of April. We'll be coming to you once a week, so you'll get that episode on Thursdays. And then, of course, as we get closer to football season, July-ish, August, you'll be back to your normal 2 episodes every week. But we thought for baseball season, we'd drop it back to 1. But John Boy, how you been?
Been good.
Hadn't talked to you in a bit, man.
Yeah, I hadn't talked to you in a bit. Been good. I'm excited if we can get this daily show thing going live from the Hollywood Barstool Sportsbook Casino.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If we could get in front of our winners once a day for an hour.
Yeah, I think they're going to get tired of you real quick. Every day?
Yeah.
That's a lot of John Cole right there. I mean, I did it as a kid. It was a lot for me. So I get it.
Yeah. But man, things have been good. Back on the horse there. Monday, Sunday, we had the horrible foul call. Well, I don't want to say horrible foul call. It's just when you let two teams beat the snot out of each other, like the refs did for the Creighton San Diego State game. You would think the least they could do is let the touch foul at the end go. But no, the refs said, let us get a little pub. But that's all right, because right after that, we turn around and we take the Miami Hurricanes plus the points. They win outright. Right. And good. I think
Miami looks good.
I called the win outright.
We both did. We talked about they were going to cause some issues.
Right.
Hey, every now and then we get something right.
Every now and then we get something right. And then we wheel back Monday, the Minnesota Wild. They win 6-2. No, never in doubt.
They're really
Last
good.
night we got the Calgary Flames in hockey go across. Look, I told you guys, a hockey, I'm telling you, watch me. I'm dangerous when it gets late. Then we had the money line parlay, the Rangers, never in doubt, with UAB in the overtime. Did you watch that NIT game?
I watched a little bit of the end. It was a little too close for comfort for me.
Yeah, but anyway, 2-0. And then tonight, Lakers money line, we wheel back. So that's, what is that? 4-0 to start the week.
Yeah.
And five winners in a row. If you date back to Saturday, we've won, I think it's 7 of the last 9. So back in the saddle again.
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, hey, you have opening day tomorrow. You got NBA playoffs, hockey playoffs right around the corner here.
Major League Baseball, one of my favorites.
Yep.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I think baseball is a lot of fun. It's a long season, but it's been really, really good for you. I think we finished baseball last year, 76 games over. So
yep.
I know a lot of people are like, baseball.
More importantly, 74.27 units over, something like that.
Something like that.
So the units in the games matched right up.
Yeah, there's some plus money in baseball for sure, but a lot of people out there that are like, I don't want anything to do with baseball. Like, I'm not saying you got to watch every game, but take the plays and then, just let them go. I think you don't got to watch every game. You don't got to follow. That's what we're here for. We're here to follow it for you, give you the information so that you can just take them and run with them. So, but yeah, baseball's fun. I like baseball. I like going to games. I'll probably try to go to a couple Royals games here in May, June before it starts to heat up because I don't like the heat. And then I'll circle back and maybe catch a game in September.
Sweating my tail
hate
off.
I
love it.
Hate every bit of it. But baseball's a lot of fun. It's a good time. Go out to the ballpark, cold beer, hot dog. Just America's pastime, man.
You like some wieners, don't you, baby?
I'm more of a nacho guy myself. But yeah, I like a hot dog every now and then.
Yeah. Well, go to the game, man. It's pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, baseball's good. Other than the Royals trying to build this new downtown stadium, like, infuriates me. The stupidest thing I've ever seen.
But look, baseball. People don't bet baseball because it's a grind and the lines aren't up. It's every day, so people really struggle with that, right?
But that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. And look, now again, just so we understand, baseball is going to start tomorrow, which is March 30th, right? But all those games will go on the April 1st record and after. The Final Four, the NBA regular season that ends, I think, April 9th, and the NHL regular season that ends April 10th. 6th.
Was it the 10th?
6th? They all, both the NBA and NHL end by April 10th, but whatever. Those regular seasons will get pushed back to pre-April 1st for record-keeping purposes.
And then playoffs will be.
The playoffs will go on the April 1st and over. So really, tomorrow, so you're going to be 2 seasons records at the same time. Mm-hmm. But tomorrow is or today now, when you guys listen to it, will be the official start of the calendar year. I can't stress this enough. For all the non-believers out there, right? And you guys got to bear with me. I got a horrible chest thing I'm trying to fight through.
Dude, allergies have been awful this week.
Well, I don't have allergies, but I've gotten this chest thing, so I'm going to be coughing a lot on this show. I apologize. I'll cover my mouth so it doesn't spray through y'all's earbuds into your ear, out to your dash of your car. But listen, tomorrow or today rather, as you're listening, is the official start. I can't stress enough. If you would just give me the opportunity to run this full calendar year, it will be the greatest decision of your life.
And if you give out the White Sox, just ignore that play. John's having a day.
There's only 3 things that could trump. Seriously, there's only 3 things that could ever in this world trump you signing up and following me for a full year. A, if you've found God. B, if you've ever had children. And C, if you married the right significant other, which 80% of you haven't.
I definitely have. So I can speak from experience. Yes, it's wonderful.
I love my sister Chelsea. But that's the only 3 things that can trump following me for a year. So do yourself a favor, right? And again, it's unrealistic to think I'm going to win every day. It is. Yeah. I can talk about how 6 or 7 out of the last 9 and the week has started out 4-0. I had my worst tournament ever, and I still think I'm 1 game over 500. We've lost like 4 or 5 units, but like it could have been a whole lot worse, right? And
it's pretty bad. I mean, yes, it can always be worse, but
here's the problem. Everybody did the same thing you did. Everybody put a little bit more because it was the tournament. And now here we come out the other
side. That evil on me, Ricky Bobby. You're my guy. You tell me what to do. No.
Here we come out the other side. You know it's true. It's what everybody did. It's the tournament. It's like Super Bowl. I preach they don't pay you out any more money. Listen, the book is going to pay you the same whether it's a Tuesday baseball game in May or it's the freaking Super Bowl. They pay the same amount of money. So again, you got to ride this thing. I was just talking to a couple guys tonight, and when I get them on the phone, I tell them, "Say, look, this is nothing like you've ever dealt with in the industry. First of all, I don't have time for people that want to blow me up every time there's a loss. I can read my tickets. I'm not blind. Thank the good Lord. I know when it lost.
Sometimes they're just checking to make sure.
No, go spend time with your family, go golf, go scratch your crotch like Al Bundy, go play darts, go water plants, like have a life. That's what you pay me to do. You pay me to sit here and act like a maniac, right?
And you do that well.
And break down the fact that the Cleveland Indians are 1-6 their last 7 meetings in Seattle. And, Shane Bieber sucks a big one when he goes to Seattle every time, right? Y'all pay me to do that. Do your job. Let me do mine, and let's let the chips fall where they may. And don't get too high. Don't get too low. Remember, let's look at this thing 6 months in. Let's look at this thing 9 months down the road. Let's look at this thing a year down the road. Because really, it's like having your own business. And you guys got to look at it that way. Sorry, I got off on a little bit of a tangent there, preaching, but I think it's important. I think it's important that the people know, what they're getting.
I got you. Absolutely. Yeah, we're used to it, man. You get off on tangents every episode, so it's nothing new. That's why we love you. All right, we're going to jump into a little NHL standings talk. Regular season winding down here, playoffs right around the corner. So we're going to take a look at this as it stands today, if the season were to end, where these teams sit. So obviously we're going to start in the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic. Boston and Toronto have already clinched playoff berths. Tampa Bay is sitting there in third in the Atlantic. The Metropolitan, Carolina, New Jersey, and New York all have already clinched playoff berths, so the Metropolitan is set. Those will be your 3 teams. And the wild card right now, as it sits today, is the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Islanders 87 points, Penguins 82. The Florida Panthers right on Pittsburgh's heels, though. They're sitting at 81 points. And then there's a bit of a drop-off there. 77 for the Sabres, Senators, Capitals, and then 73 for the Red Wings. I would say at this point, Red Wings are probably getting pretty close to out of contention there. I like Pittsburgh.
Really? You think the Red Wings are close to out of contention? I think they're dead.
Yeah, 73 points back there. Yeah, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think as it sets right now in the Eastern Conference, Pittsburgh's playing good hockey right now. That team's looking much better than it did early in the season. Man, they really got off to an awful start.
They're 4-6 in their last 10. You're such a homer. Look at
they're playing good hockey.
That poop-eating grin of yours just goes to show you're a homer.
So right now, wild card wise, I think in the Eastern Conference, this probably is how this stays. Islanders, Penguins. It's because everybody else sucks. My expectation would be these 2 teams get the wild cards.
Look, to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, all you got to do is breathe. That's the qualification. Now, look, Florida, they had a big win tonight in overtime over Toronto Maple Leafs. They're only 1 point back of Pittsburgh, but you're right. The rest of this is set. But what I think is interesting is the Metropolitan. That's what's interesting, because though the teams are locked, the Rangers are only 2 points behind the Devils.
Yep.
And the Rangers are 9-1 their last 10. And tomorrow night, Thursday night, you guys will be listening to this Thursday, so tonight, I guess I should say, the Devils host the Rangers.
Ooh, that's going to be a good game. I'm going to have to watch that one.
Devils host the Rangers? Is that it? Yeah, Devils host the Rangers. Devils laying $1.35. Now, you might say, John, it's a game with the Devils.
Betting the Devils.
Okay, fine.
No. We bet them, they lose. We bet against them, they win. It's like the White Sox. We're not going to do this.
Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. You mark this down. I'm going to be right about the Devils. They are going to fold like a lawn chair come the freaking playoffs. That team, they're going to be one of those regular season bangers, and they get in the playoffs and get freaking just destroyed.
We'll see. I don't know. They look pretty good. All right. So the Western Conference, we're going to take a look at this one. In the Central, the Minnesota Wild are in first, Colorado Avalanche second, and the Stars third. So the Avalanche have they were another team that got off to an extremely slow start, but they've picked it up as of late. The Pacific is showing the Vegas Golden Knights first, LA Kings second, Edmonton Oilers third. The interesting thing with the Western Conference here is none of this is locked. No team has secured a playoff berth as of yet, so things can move around a little bit here. We will look at the wild cards. So the Seattle Kraken and the Winnipeg Jets are the two wild card teams right now.
Refer to them as the Seattle Crackheads. Thank you.
We're not going to do that. Winnipeg is sitting with 85 points in that second wild card spot. And you look at the teams chasing them: Calgary 83 points, the Preds 82 points, and that's about where the chase ends because the Blues are 74 points and the Canucks are 74 points. So
look, I don't want to hear anything about the Blues. The Blues are horrible.
Not very good.
Not very good. Now, Vegas is 2 points ahead of the Kings, 1 point ahead of the Oilers.
Yep.
I really thought my Golden Knights were going to tear off like my Capitals did.
Mm-hmm.
But they've hung in there lately. But
Yeah,
I still think in the Pacific, I still feel like the Kings are the best team. But that's just my gut. I'm not like, loads of conviction behind it. Nashville.
Kings are good. The Avalanche, you obviously got to be careful with. And the Minnesota Wild have been playing really good hockey, too.
Look,
don't forget about the Wild.
The Minnesota Wild are up tonight 2-1 on Colorado. Mm-hmm. Now, Colorado's 9-1 their last 10 also, and they've won 3 in a row. Look, I still think the Avalanche come out of the West.
I would
really
agree with
believe
that.
it. I really believe that. The Stars, I don't like the Stars. Edmonton, I mean, they beat the Knights last night 7-4. I mean, you got to score 7 goals to win. I mean,
Edmonton
I don't want to
doesn't score 6 or 7. They're not winning. Yeah, they're not winning low scoring games.
The Edmonton, I'm out on them. Kraken, and I could see Calgary catching Winnipeg, but I mean, both of them are from Canada, and well, everything in Canada sucks. So either one that makes it'll be out in the first round. So who cares? You know what I mean?
This is the year.
Yeah,
Calgary's been. I mean, they've turned it on a little bit late. I think they can catch Winnipeg. 2 points. Obviously, they're very, very close. I think Seattle gets that first wild card spot, of course, and it really will be a toss up. Winnipeg, Calgary. I think Nashville. I just don't know if they have that finishing power to really make a run at this thing. I would expect this race to truly come down to Winnipeg and Calgary, and it wouldn't surprise me if either one of these teams get that second wild card. I think Nashville, I just don't have a lot of faith that they can run this thing over the last week or so and put themselves in it. They show flashes at times, but they're just so inconsistent. So inconsistent.
You talking about Nashville?
Yeah, they're only 1 point back of Calgary right now.
Listen.
What?
Listen. I like my Nashville Predators.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making the playoffs.
That's why I said I don't think they will.
It's not a thing. They don't have a shot.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So
yeah, not happening.
We agree. Don't make it
not
awkward.
happening.
We agree.
I'm not making it awkward.
All right.
So tell me we got about a week left. Who do you like? I like the Avalanche in the West. I feel good about the Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
And then in the East, are you going to ride that same bandwagon everybody is with the Bruins?
Man, the East for me is really, really tough. Carolina is really, really good. Really, really good team. I think they're just as good as Boston. The Maple Leafs, I know you don't like the Canada teams, but I think
they just lost to a horrible Florida team tonight. Don't mention anything. Listen,
hey, look,
these Canada teams get way too much daggone.
It's fine.
No. Look, these Canada teams can't play where the doo-doo. All right. Yep. The only reason Edmonton is relevant is because of daggone McDavid. If it wasn't for David, they wouldn't be able to get 10 wins if it wasn't for that dude.
Yeah.
Boy, it's bad. I mean, unskilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their goalie, I don't want to hear about. And Toronto's like the Dallas Cowboys. Let's buy a team and then suck. Because that's what they're doing. They got more superstars than a Las Vegas showgirl show and still can't get laid.
Here's another rant. I think it's probably going to come down to, you got to be careful with Tampa Bay too, because they've been here before. When playoff time rolls around, Tampa Bay knows how to win. I like Carolina though, out of the East.
You like Carolina?
I like Carolina out of the East.
Man, it's hard not to pick the Bruins, but I just got a gut feeling something bad happens.
Yeah. Hockey's tough, man. And hockey playoffs are just an absolute gauntlet. Like, you could argue hockey is the most difficult professional sport. Like, you could solidly make that argument.
From an athleticism, as long as they got to skate with all that stuff on, yeah, I guess. I mean, I still think pitching and especially hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do.
I don't know, man. What hockey players do on skates, like that edge is,
yeah. No, I'm just saying, like,
players.
yeah. Well, you hop in there and you try to hit a Aroldis Chapman's 104 mile an hour fastball back in the day.
I'd rather try to do that than play hockey and
Are
just get
you
crushed.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not letting anybody throw anything at 104 miles an hour.
So that's going to go poorly from Jump Street too. Like, those guys, man, crush you. So I think Carolina out of the East. I agree. I think the Avalanche, I like them to come out of the West, but I just have a sneaky feeling here with Minnesota.
Minnesota, you know why? Again, you're being a homer because Fleury is the goalie.
No.
If it's not Pittsburgh Penguins,
hey, look, Flower knows how to win in the playoffs. It is what it is.
Oh my gosh!
Just saying.
What about my Vegas Knights getting some pub? Can they hoist the cup? No, they can't.
I mean, it's possible. Hockey's one of those things, man.
Avalanche, McKinnon and the boys will get to the Stanley Cup. I don't know if they'll win it, but Colorado will get there.
All right. I could see them getting there, but I don't be surprised. I mean, the Kings too. You got to give them their due. The Kings are very, very good. I wouldn't be surprised with them either.
Yeah, but I think the only team out west that could beat a Boston or a Carolina look, the team out that's coming out of the East is one of those three teams in that division. Boston, Carolina, or Tampa. I don't want to hear about the Rangers. I don't want to hear about the Islanders. I definitely don't want to hear about your Pittsburgh Swans.
No, they're not making a run here.
So it's really, and I really don't believe in Tampa. They've just fallen off the cliff. I don't believe they can flip the switch. It's either going to be Carolina or Boston.
Yeah.
And I said about a month and a half ago it's going to be Boston, Colorado, so I'll stand by that.
Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, I think we're close to an agreement. All right, we're going to turn our attention here to a little NBA because obviously the NBA regular season, like the hockey regular season, is coming quickly to a close. Playoffs are right around the corner here. So we're going to take a look at standings as they set today. So in the Eastern Conference, we'll start there. Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are your top four teams, all clinching playoff berths. That's how that sets today. New York Knicks and Brooklyn Nets are in 5 and 6. And then if you look at 7 and 8 here, the Heat and the Hawks, Heat 15 and a half games back. They're only a game and a half back of Brooklyn, though. And then Atlanta and Toronto tied here, 17 games back total, but 3 games back of the Nets. So I think this is probably getting in the Eastern Conference pretty close to how this one's going to end. I'd say the Nets and Knicks here probably are the teams that stay there. I don't see that really changing all that much. What about you?
What were we talking about?
The NBA. Do you not? You really don't pay attention to me. Too busy over there drinking and snacking, and who knows what you're looking at on your phone.
No, look, man. My Boston Celtics. I mean, they are an absolute just dumpster fire right now.
Not good.
they were the best team in the NBA, and in 2 months, they have all of a sudden, I mean, they lost to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, sometimes you have a bad night, man. It happened.
Yeah, but this is happening, like, going into last night, you're 2 games back.
Maybe you're on that game management thing, getting ready for the playoffs.
No, if they had won last night, they play the Bucks here tomorrow night after, something like that. And if they had beat the Bucks, they'd have got home court. They would have had the leg up. Boston, since they gave Mazzulla the contract, has totally fell off the cliff ever since they signed him to the deal. I hate to blame a guy like that when he had him playing well, but man, I really feel like either they don't respect him or he's lost, or I don't know, but they look like crap.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Boston. I think my Celtics should be in the finals. I have no confidence, nor do I think they can beat Milwaukee in a series right now.
Not the way they're playing right now. And this is
not the way they're playing.
This is not the time of the year where you want to be going into the playoffs playing basketball the way the Celtics are right now. Like, you want to go into the playoffs on a bit of a high note, like all things running, firing on all cylinders. And right now, Boston is not in that place. Now, saying that about them, they do have a little bit of time here to clean it up, get back on track, get back in a rhythm. But time is quickly running out in the regular season. They need to get back on that horse quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go into Washington and get down by 25 points. And the Wizards didn't have Beal, and the Wizards didn't have Kuzma.
That's not good. Yeah, I don't have any words of.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can say that makes that any better.
No.
So
I'm good with words. I'm not that good.
Yeah, Milwaukee, they're the class. Philly's sitting there in third. You know, Philly, Cleveland, they're nice stories. They're not going anywhere. I know people are high on the Knicks. Come on, folks. The Knicks aren't going to the finals, right? I mean,
you're not high on the Knickerbockers right now? Come on, man.
No, I'm glad to see they're competitive again. Yeah, and Julius Randle is one of the top 10 players in the league. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. If I could rewind the hands of time, I would rather, Julius Randle was a part of all that trading stuff so they could get AD. I'd much rather have Julius Randle. More reliable, more durable, and puts up just as good of numbers. Right? Now, AD's rolling since he's back with the Lakers, but I'd rather have Randle for the long term, right? I know he's going to play.
Yeah.
And the Knicks, look, sorry. The Knicks are sitting there. I can see the Knicks beating Cleveland in a series, but do we really see the Knicks beating the Bucks in a 7-game series? I don't. I mean, look.
No, the Bucks are too much, buddy.
Look, and even as bad as Boston's playing, this is going to be Milwaukee and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't think they can beat. I don't think my Celtics can beat the Bucks right now. I just don't. In the
Not
West,
right now, but there's time.
In the West, now that's where it gets juicy. Yes, right, I want you to go through it because I cannot wait to be crowned Deschwame for calling it.
All right, so obviously Denver is in first. They have clinched. Memphis in second. They have clinched a playoff spot. And then we go down the list here. So Sacramento third, Phoenix in fourth, the Clippers in fifth, and the Golden State Warriors have charged back there in sixth. So they're holding that last playoff spot. Then you look on the outside looking in here. Minnesota is only a half game back of the Warriors. The Pelicans are a game and a half back of the Warriors. And LA, as it sits right now, is 2 games back. Hey, Oklahoma City only 2.5. So this is really, really close in the West.
I'm sorry. You just listed 10 teams, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking. So we'll look at this one because I actually have a funny little thing here. The Dallas Mavericks would set in 11th right now, 14.5 games back. So they're tied with Oklahoma. Did you see the thing with Luka, though? He's like, I'm not having fun anymore. How quickly that took a turn.
Look, you lose back-to-back nights to the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah. And you bring in Kyrie and the wheels just fall off the bus.
Listen, they're 8-14 with old Kyrie. All y'all want to crown him. Yep. That guy is an absolute disaster.
Yep.
All right. All of you out there. All of you.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
But let me tell you something. You know what I say about Kyrie Irving? I've called it and I've continued. He burned Duke to the ground. He burned the Celtics to the ground. He burned the Nets to the ground. And now a team that was in the Western Conference Finals, they're
not going to make
8-14 with him, and they're not even in the playoffs right now.
Yep.
But they are who we
And
thought they were.
and their star player, all of a sudden, since he's come over, is no longer having fun playing basketball in Dallas. Like, this is really bad for the Mavericks franchise. We talked about Kyrie coming there, and we knew it was going to be a problem. Obviously, that has come to fruition. It is a problem. And an unhappy Luka that's not a good look for Dallas.
Listen, I know the Mavs got money. I know it's a great city. I know there's no state tax. I know Mark Cuban's a player's owner.
Yep.
Do you think Luka really wants to be there long term after this?
I don't. And see, that's what I'm talking about, how awful that is for Dallas.
Kyrie's not coming back to the I mean, Kyrie's going to be a Laker next year. Kyrie's going to the Lakers to team up with AD and LeBron. That's a done deal.
Why would you want that, though?
I broke the story. It's here. It's happening. It will be the big three, so-called next year.
Yeah.
But do you see, I mean, look, Jason Kidd, who everybody talked about was a great coach, I'm hearing he's getting canned after the year. You let Brunson walk out the door and you bring Kyrie in. Like, I just think Dallas is in. I think it's a wonderful franchise. I think it's a wonderful city. But I just don't know if Luka stays long term.
I'm starting to think that he's not going to. I don't know if I blame him at this point. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Now, Golden State, they're getting hot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look,
which we expected them to.
Yeah, Durantula's back tonight for Phoenix. They're up 4 right now on the T-Wolves. But let me tell you something. What if that 4-5 matchup is the Suns and the Warriors in the first round?
That'll be a really good match. I will have to tune in for that.
But you don't want to see that in the first round.
I don't, but it'd be a really good series. I'll have to watch.
It's only going to be a 5-gamer to start with. I mean,
fun. It could go, probably go 5.
I mean, poor Durant just can't get away from Golden State.
He should have never left.
I mean, Sacramento's locked into the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix and the Clippers both come in tonight tied, but Phoenix has the tiebreaker, so they're 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I think Phoenix stays in the 4 hole. But, man, I think Golden State, a game back of the Clippers, I think the Clippers are going to fall with George. They're saying they have to get to the second round of the playoffs for Paul George to come back. So I think that kills the Clippers because you're stuck with Westbrook and Kawhi.
Yeah.
And look, man, the Lakers are dangerous, Chop.
Yep.
Like the West. Look, I'm sorry. Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, thanks for playing. Y'all look real cute up there at the top of the standings. But come playoff time, none of those 3 teams are better than the Suns, the Warriors, or a healthy Lakers team.
Yeah, a healthy Lakers team, I think, is the perfect piece of that. Can they stay healthy? You have to have a healthy LeBron and a healthy AD. Can that happen? Right? Because both those pieces are going to have to be healthy for them to make a run here. So, yeah. Can they stay that way? It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, with LeBron back, that's huge for the Lakers. So,
I'm just going to laugh if Dallas misses the playoffs.
I mean, I think they're probably miss the playoffs.
The only team, so Minnesota's 7th, Lakers 8, New Orleans 9, Thunder 10. The only team in there that is in danger that I think could fall out and the Mavs could replace is the Pelicans. And that's because Zion hasn't laced him up since he tore his shoe at Duke. It's the last time he saw
There's
the
another
floor.
kid that just cannot stay healthy at all.
Well, look, I think you protect the kid too much. Like he's in a bubble. I mean, can you play or can you not play?
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
mean, there's a difference in being hurt and being injured. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
true.
I mean, the guy wants a contract.
I'm not signing
No,
him to a
thanks.
long-term deal. I
No.
want any part of that. Has he played a whole season since I don't think he's played a full season
Yeah,
yet,
and
has
everybody wants to talk about, well, when he plays, he's, averaging 25 and 10 or what. Who
he?
cares?
Yeah, but if he
So
only
does-
plays 20 games a season, like,
That's my thing with AD. Who cares how great you are? The best ability is availability.
Yep.
So if you're not out there, what's it matter?
yeah, I don't know. I think the NBA as a whole has just gotten soft. Like, and we talk about this, like the NBA heyday and what it used to be and what it is now. It's not the same. Like, and that's why we talk about it's so hard to predict NBA games, because you never know who's going to suit up and who's not. Like back in the day, you were going to play unless, you lost a limb. Otherwise, you were suiting up every night. And now it's just so unpredictable. It makes it very, very difficult with the NBA. All right, we're going to jump into a little college basketball news here. Our Final Four is set. It's been a great tournament. I've really enjoyed this tournament. I never thought this would be the 4 teams that it would be down to. So we have FAU and San Diego State and Miami and UConn. But it's been a great tournament. I think both of these games are going to be very, very good. If I had to give you the biggest surprise for me out of these 4 teams in the tournament, it's been San Diego State. I knew they were a good team, but didn't quite think they had this type of run in them. But man, they've been playing really good basketball. And then FAU, I feel like a team that everyone disrespected all year, and they're getting their due now. They're showing how good they are in this tournament. And we talked about FAU before the tournament started, how good they were, and they were going to surprise a lot of people, and they have definitely done that for sure.
Yeah, Florida Atlantic, man. Look, when you're like 35-3, you need to get some respect.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Right.
I mean, they really did not.
They didn't, but they have played about as well as any team can play. I mean, they're just playing outstanding basketball. And look, they won that game Saturday and they turned it over 19 times.
Yep.
I mean, you got 19 turnovers and you still win that basketball game. And I know what everybody's saying, well, San Diego State's defense and they got seniors, and, if Florida Atlantic turned it over 19 times against, on Saturday, that just automatically means that San Diego State's going to beat them.
Yep.
And I just don't see it.
Mm-mm.
Like the fact that this isn't a pick'em game and it's San Diego State up to -2 right now. And the percentage of bets and percentage of handle, about 50% on both right now as I'm looking at it, DraftKings and MGM. But San Diego State has the slight nod, a little over 50%. But look, man, Florida Atlantic plus 2.5's the play. They're the better team. They're the deeper team. They got the big kid in the middle. When I look at it, people are going to say, oh, well, San Diego State beat Alabama. Let's get something straight right now. The SEC was showed that they're overrated. Right or wrong?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they were. Which we
right.
talked about a little bit before the tournament started. We kind of talked about it a little bit throughout the season.
Yeah, and Alabama, I'm not saying they were a bad team, but they were a young team, right?
They were. No, absolutely.
Alabama, San Diego State was like Duke, Tennessee to me. Older team versus a younger team, and the physicality really won out. But when you look at Florida Atlantic and Tennessee couldn't push Florida Atlantic around.
No, they couldn't.
I mean, Florida Atlantic's got 10 guys that can score the basketball. 10. I mean, they're just not working with a couple kids here. I mean, they got 10. And Golden in the middle, the big kid, I just think he's a problem.
Yep.
His footwork, finishing with the right and the left. Look, Florida Atlantic, you got to buy the hook plus 2.5's the play. I think they win the game outright. There
I think
is
Florida
no
Atlantic
look,
wins this game.
San Diego State has been a dog other than the Charleston game, right? And Furman. The past couple of rounds, they've been a dog. Now they're a favored. And this should really be a pick'em game. Look, and again, you might say, well, John, we had Charleston and Furman. We did. Plus a lot of points. The only reason they covered Charleston was at the end. Yep. And Furman was 19-17 till the wheels fell off that wagon. You're talking about a 35-3 Florida Atlantic team that is seasoned, that has thrown mud in the committee's face and showed them that the Conference USA is for real. I mean, Charlotte wins the CBI. They're playing the NIT tomorrow night, UAB in North Texas, 2 conference. Why can that conference not get 2 automatic bids? Why are we putting in the 9th and 10th best team out of the freaking loser Big Ten, and Conference USA can't get 2 teams in?
Agreed, 100%.
They can't get 2 I mean, I was hearing about this Wisconsin thing on the bubble and this Oklahoma State thing on the bubble. And
North Carolina was on the bubble.
And North Texas whooped Oklahoma State and Wisconsin's arse in this NIT tournament on the road at Oklahoma State. So the fact this conference can't get 2 teams in blows my mind. Yep. So it's just real basic math. You got Conference USA that this year is just as good as the ACC. And now I'm supposed to believe that because San Diego State, again, I told you, the tournament's all about matchups.
It is.
I'm supposed to believe that the Mountain West, that the only games it's won is because of San Diego State the past 5 years in the tournament. That all of a sudden they're just going to roll in and blow out Florida Atlantic. I don't see it. Again,
I don't either.
Florida Atlantic plus 2.5's the play. If I lose, then I lose. But I think they win the game outright. I'm riding with the Owls.
There you go. And then Miami, UConn. Who you liking this one, man? Miami's look great. UConn's been tough too, though.
Look, UConn, I want to preface what I'm saying because, again, you're going to say, well, John, you've bet against UConn the whole tournament. And you would be right. Okay. We had Iona plus 9.5, lost, but Iona had the lead at half, and it was a tied ball game with 12 minutes to go. Keep that in mind. Then you had St. Mary's. St. Mary's had the lead at the half, and until 13 minutes to go, UConn blitzed them. And then I got suckered thinking that Arkansas would shoot the same way they did against Kansas, and they were never in the game against UConn.
So I think with that Kansas game, if Bill Self would have been there, Kansas wins that game.
And then we take Gonzaga plus 3, right? And I should have took Connecticut money line. I almost did, but I said, man, I've gotten burned on these money lines the whole tournament. So, give me, I'll take Creighton on the money line instead and take Gonzaga plus the 3. Well, 2 things. Gonzaga blew their load 2 nights before against UCLA.
You're not wrong.
And second, the refs decided the game with 18 minutes to go when it was a 5-6 point game, giving Timmy 2 quick fouls that was just ridiculous. I don't believe, after watching them, and you can say, well, John, you've bet against them. I don't believe UConn's played a really good team yet.
Yeah. Can make that argument.
Like they play, I would say Gonzaga. Look, Arkansas's not good. Iona's not good. St. Mary's not good. Well, John, why'd you take the points? Based off of value. Sports betting's about value, not about who's better than the other, right? It's about value and where the money's trending in the market. Right now, just, if you've been riding UConn, you've made a king's ransom. So the way I look at it is UConn to be laying 6, and they haven't had a close game yet. 1, I think Miami's got the better coach with Jim Larinaga. 2, Miami has beat Duke twice, And again, let's not just scrap Duke to the side. Again, it's about matchups. They got matched up with a tougher, older Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm.
Any other team made Duke's in the Final Four. They beat Virginia. They beat Texas.
Texas is good.
I took Miami plus the 7, gave it out to all of our guys. But did I really think that they would beat Texas? No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
Not after they beat Houston, which we called it and said they beat Houston. Sorry, we had them plus 5 against Texas, plus 7 against Houston. But both of those games were in Texas, that part of the tournament. So you beat Houston, you beat Texas, you beat Duke and Virginia. Like, this Miami team isn't a fluke Cinderella run. And this team has been in the tournament. This team has been to the Elite Eight. They got 4 guys that are going to get drafted in the NBA, either first or second round. Miami covers this 6.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Now, look, I will preface that by saying, I think for a double unit, you should take UConn minus 125 to win the tournament from here on out. Because that's a really cheap price. That's great value. And I think they sneak past Miami here. But I don't think they cover 6.
No.
I think, my personal opinion, gun to my head, I think Florida Atlantic wins this game somewhere 4 to 7 points outright. And I think UConn wins this game 3 to 4 points.
So if you're looking at a matchup for the title, Florida Atlantic versus UConn,
I'd say if UConn's laying 6 to Miami, they'll make UConn 8, 8.5.
It'd be all over Florida Atlantic. I think
I'd take the dog because the whole world's going to be on UConn.
But
look, let's
let's
worry about that Monday. Florida Atlantic plus 2.5, Miami plus 6. And then for a double unit, I'd take UConn minus the 125 to hoist the trophy.
Just looking ahead, though, what if Florida Atlantic wins this thing? Like, wins the whole tournament?
Well, look,
how amazing would that be for them?
There's a guy at the South Point before the season started. He bet $500 for Florida Atlantic to win it all. He would take back $600K. Can you imagine if you were that dude right now?
Dude,
life's looking pretty good.
It's looking, I mean, I can't say that I would be shocked. The way they're playing, as good as they are, it wouldn't surprise me. With this tournament, nothing would surprise me.
I think it would be the greatest thing that ever happened to college basketball. Yep. I really do. Because I think we're way too infatuated on the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC. Look,
and college basketball is not college football. And
no,
I think
it's
that
not.
distinction needs to be made. And the thought process around these teams when you're putting them in the tournament, it's not like you're looking at teams for the college football play. They're two completely different things.
Listen, Montana State won their tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the same conference. Maybe I'm wrong. Eastern Washington was the 1 seed. Montana State was the 2. Utah Valley, I don't know, it's escaping me. But either way, Utah Valley wins the regular season. They take North Texas to the death. They lose by 1 in overtime in their conference tournament. Somebody else gets that bid. That Utah Valley team I watched should be in the tournament over the 9th best team in the Big Ten.
Absolutely.
UAB should be in the tournament over the 8th best. Like, stop putting 7, 8, 9 teams in from the Big Ten because you think that they played a tough schedule. No, they didn't. They didn't. Stop doing it.
Yep.
These mid-majors should get 1 to 2. They should get 2 teams in per conference. And guess what? Big Ten, you want to make it, you got to be in the top 6 or 7. ACC, you want to make it, you got to be in the top 5 or 6 to even be considered. Like, I don't need the 7th, 8th, 9th best team out of a conference. I'd rather have Utah Valley. I'd rather have North Texas. I'd rather have UAB.
Agreed.
Like, I don't need that. Why do I need, look, and I got suckered the first round. We gave out Texas A&M money line. I'm like, how can the team that finished second in the SEC, how in God's name can they be a 7th seed? Well, you know what? give committee credit because they knew what they were doing because that team blowed. And that was your second best team in the SEC. Kentucky got beat. They didn't make it to the Sweet 16. The only reason Tennessee made it there is because they played a young freshman team in Duke. Okay. Arkansas, the only reason they got there, Kansas didn't have the coach. Where else was the SEC?
Yep.
Where else were they? The Pac-12 every year. Arizona, thank God. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
They lost in the first round. Arizona State blew a lead to TCU.
Yep.
Right? Like USC got their brains beat in by Michigan State. The only team left was UCLA. So I don't need all these teams.
Yep.
It's like they were trying to put North Carolina in, talking about on the bubble. On the bubble for what? A free movie ticket to the matinee?
Yeah, North Carolina did nothing to deserve to be in this tournament this year. The fact that they were even in the conversation shows that there's a problem with the college basketball tournament and how the thought process works of what teams to put in and what ones
Look,
not.
And all I've heard is the ratings, there's no blue bloods. There's not going to be ratings because 3 of the 4 teams are Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, Miami. Then you aren't a fan of college basketball.
Right.
If you think this is a horrible Final Four and you're not excited about Florida Atlantic or you're not excited about the possibility of Florida Atlantic and Miami, 2 Florida schools, and wouldn't that be a war?
That would
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you're not excited about that, if you're not excited that defense still matters with San Diego State, if you're not excited about the rise of UConn and Danny Hurley that has been the backseat of his whole family because his dad was the great St. Anthony's coach, one of the greatest coaches ever made, the greatest high school coach other than Morgan Wooten ever in history. And his brother, Bobby Hurley, won back-to-back titles at Duke and all, and Danny never won nothing at Seton Hall. And now is finally getting his chance to shine. If this tournament doesn't excite you, then you are not a fan of college basketball. So don't say you are.
Agreed. 100%.
Sorry. I got
you're good.
passionate.
Man, you went on some rants tonight. This episode's going to be long.
That's what happens when you only give me one time to talk a week.
I know. I was trying to help the people to only have to listen to you once a week, but it's not helping. All right. Well, go through some of these kind of quick. Dariq Whitehead from Duke, he's going to enter the draft, so you lose him. I know you're Dukies. How you feel about him heading on?
We got the second recruiting class going. I just want Philip. Look, Proctor said he was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So if Proctor's coming back, all I need is Roach and Filipowski and Lively to come back with the incoming recruits, and we're Final Four bound next year.
All right. Cooley is flipping recruits from Providence to Georgetown. He just keeps screwing Providence, buddy. Like he's already turned 2. This is just a bad look for Cooley. One, I don't agree with the move to leave Providence. I think
he
Providence
loves screwing everything in Providence. I heard.
Yeah. Apparently they did him dirty or something, man. But I think he should have stayed at Providence.
He did
I think
dirty. The wife made him move out of there.
Providence is a much better program right now than Georgetown, but I guess Georgetown has that weird prestige. Texas, they've extended their coach Rodney Terry for 5 years. Obviously warranted. I mean, Texas was a great team this year.
Very warranted. I still think Chris Beard got the shaft, but he's on to Ole Miss. But look, Terry earned this job. He's did a great job. I think he's going to be a lot like Tang of K-State. Hopefully he solidifies and stabilizes that Texas program for the next decade or so. I like Terry a lot.
Yeah. Due to, hey, your Penn State Nittany Lions have hired their new coach. They take the coach from VCU, Mike Rhodes.
Listen, the only thing I'm a fan of with Penn State is 2 things. Football and the volleyball team. I do not like anything about their basketball team. Never have, never will.
I think that's a good move, though. Coach VCU, I think that's a good fit.
Nah, if it makes your bowels move, then good for you.
And then, VCU replaces Rhodes with Ryan Odom from Utah State, previously from UMBC, the first 16 seed to knock off a 1.
That's a very good hire.
Yeah, Odom.
He will do well recruiting there. VCU, shouts out to the administration there at VCU, because every time they lose a coach,
they really replace him with a good one.
They really do. Like
Yeah.
they're hiring for coaches. Like there's some NFL teams that should probably call VCU for help.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We couldn't not talk about this topic of covering college basketball. Iowa's Caitlin Clark put on an absolute clinic. 41 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, 6 of 8 from 3-point land. She has her team in the Final Four of the women's tournament. Man, she can ball. She was in the zone.
I've been watching this kid for 3 years now.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark. In my time, all right, and I've seen some good ones, right? I've seen the Sue Birds. I've seen the Candace Parkers. I've seen the Rebecca Lobos. Like I've seen some.
Go back, old Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie, I saw her. I saw Dana Taurasi. And I know everybody's going to say, John, you're a prisoner of the moment. Other than maybe Taurasi, she's the greatest women's college basketball player I've ever seen.
Yep.
And not just the range, because she's a scrawny girl too. I mean, it's not like she flexed on the 1-and-1. I'm like, girl, you didn't even have like air pop up out of them things. It's just like sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Hey,
she's
worked.
such a great kid. To hear her speak, to see her leadership, the way she passes the ball. Look, man, a triple-double, I know we get spoiled by the NBA, but it's kind of like a stat sheet anyway. Those people don't play real basketball until the playoffs most of the time.
Yeah.
To have a triple-double in college basketball.
It's very hard.
And 41 points is very hard. And here's the thing. There is no secret, Chop. Everybody, it's like when Jordan, and this is one of my other big distinctions when we get to talking about LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah.
Everybody, when Jordan played, there was a thing on when I was at the gym this morning scrolling TikTok. While I'm on the treadmill, the thing came up with Jordan when he was playing the Pacers, and Reggie Miller and Bird were talking about. We all knew it was like 2 seconds later. We all knew who was going to get the ball. Everybody in the arena knew who was going to get the ball.
Everybody watching on TV knew who was going to get the ball.
Knew where the ball was going, and everybody knew that there was nothing that could stop him.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. Like, you know who's getting the ball.
Yep.
You know who's getting it, and you still can't stop the kid.
Yep.
And she plays on both ends of the floor, and I appreciate, we don't talk enough about women's sports, first of all.
We don't.
To see what she is doing, man, woman, like, it is just, it's phenomenal. I am in awe of Caitlin Clark. I'm one of her biggest fans. I think she's phenomenal. Iowa hasn't been to the Final Four in 30 years. And look, if you haven't watched her play, that game Friday night, Iowa and South Carolina ain't lost a game all year. They got Boston. I mean, she's a beast too. I mean, that chick's a real deal. She's like little Candace Parker.
Yep.
Not little. I mean, she's a big girl. I mean, she's a beast. That's going to be a great game. And if you're a fan of basketball, you know, and if you're a guy, your wife or girlfriend might be like, why are you watching women's college hoops? You just need to tell them, you just need to tell her, honey, sit right beside me, because we're about to, that Iowa South Carolina game might end up being a classic you don't want to miss.
Yep.
I'm serious. That game has the potential to be an ESPN classic. You don't want to miss that game.
Yep. I'll be tuning in for it for sure. Absolutely. And we don't.
Caitlin Clark, I love you, girl.
Yeah, we need to get her on the show, man. I'd love to chat with her for sure. And
that might be the first ever WNBA jersey I buy and wear.
Hey, there you go. Do it, man.
I'm serious. I love that kid. She's a sweet kid, man.
Yep.
And she can fill it up. I want my daughter to shoot like that.
Yeah, we need to do a better job, talking about, because I like soccer. The women's professional soccer league is really, really good too. That's something we'll cover on here.
She's rejoined Team USA.
Yep. So it's we're gonna do a better job about talking about that, especially as that season kicks off for soccer, because I think the women's soccer league is really, really good. So if you're into soccer, definitely tune in. It's a lot of fun. We'll jump to the next one here. We'll talk a little MLB news. Obviously, opening day is upon us. I thought it'd be fun here to go through a little odds to win the World Series. Yeah. So we'll look at these real quick. Obviously, Houston Astros plus 600. And I actually have a little bit of percentage of the handle here. So right now, 5% of the handle for the Astros at plus 600 to win the World Series. Atlanta Braves plus 750. They have 3% of the handle. New York Yankees plus 750, 13% of the handle. So as always, a lot of people high on the Yankees, which means they're probably not going to win it. Dodgers plus 850, 4% of the handle. The San Diego Padres, which I think are going to be very, very good this year, plus 950 to win, 7% of the handle. And right now, the team with the highest percentage of handle is the New York Mets, plus 950, 18% of the handle on the old Mets. You look at the Blue Jays here, plus 1,300, Cardinals plus 1,600. The Phillies also plus 1,800, but 12% of the handle to win the World Series. So some people out there really, really high on the old Philadelphia Phillies. Mariners plus 1,900, 3% of the handle. The Cleveland Indians plus 2,200 with 5% of the handle. And then the last team, Boston Red Sox here, plus 6,000 with 7% of the handle. Obviously, those are just fans from Boston. Boston's not winning the World Series. So yeah, that's kind of the top ones there. I thought you'd like the percentage of handle. Mets, a little surprising there for me. Right now, I think if you're looking at favorites to win the World Series, if I had to pick, 3 or 4 teams here to look at, Astros, Braves, Padres, sneaky good here. And then I think the Dodgers always have to play. The Yankees, I'm just not confident that they can get it done. But obviously there's a lot of people there, a lot of Yankees fans across the world, so they're high on the Yankees. I still think the Astros right now are the class. I'm interested to see without Altuve for the first couple months when he does come back what that looks like, because he is, he's a big contributor for that team. So it'll be interesting to see how they do without him until he returns. And the Padres, the pitching, they are a solid team. They made a deep run in the playoffs last year. I think surprised us both. So don't want to sleep on San Diego this year. I think they can make a run, and I wouldn't be shocked if they get it done to win it either. I think they're very, very good.
Who?
The Padres.
I like the Padres. I'll disagree
Don't look at
with
me like that. I know what I'm talking about.
No, I like the Padres. I get it. Everybody's big on the Mets because of Verlander and Scherzer together, but I think everybody keeps forgetting that lineup can't score. Like they couldn't score last year.
Runs.
You couldn't score last year. I don't know what makes you think you're going to score this year. And your bullpen sucked last year, and now you lose
Not
Diaz.
very good.
You lose your closer. So I don't know, like all you people that are on the Mets, I really don't understand it.
Stop being a damn fool.
Like
Yeah.
they just, I don't see it. I don't. Now, I'm not a big futures bet guy, right? Because baseball, God, the regular season's 5 months. Playoffs start in September-ish, October.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a 6.5 month season, right? Altogether, I would bet the under in the Astros under their win total is 95.5. I'd bet the under. Look, the Houston Astros, you lose Springer a couple years ago. You lost Charlie Morton.
Mm-hmm.
Now you lose Verlander. Now Altuve's out for 2.5 months.
And McCullers Jr.
Yeah, at some point in time, all that's got to catch up with you, right? And Dusty finally got his ring. I'm sorry. I think the Astros regress a ton. They're not winning 96 games to take the over. They're not doing that. Under 95.5, if you had to bet a team win total. The other one is I think the Dodgers go under. I like the Padres to win that division. Again, losing Trey Turner makes no sense. No Cody Bellinger. There's too many, you get Adrian Gonzalez, but really is he, not Gonzalez, JD Martinez, sorry. But I mean, has JD Martinez really set the world on fire? I mean,
not really.
So I don't see the Dodgers. I mean, they'll be competitive, but look, I don't see it. Philly's got too many injuries. The Padres, I like out of the National League, other than the Braves. I think the Braves are still the most complete team, but I think the Astros definitely. I think the Astros definitely go for the under. And again, futures aren't my style, but if you're going to bet an over-under, unders is the way to go. Because injuries remember, these lines are made before injuries.
Yep.
Injuries can only help you as the season goes on. There will be tons of injuries. I mean, the best thing, if you're going to bet a team, bet the under.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to go through power rankings real quick here, just kind of rapid fire preseason power rankings, just as where this stands going into the start of the season tomorrow. So Astros obviously number 1, Padres 2, Braves 3, Mets 4, Yankees round out the top 5. How do you feel about the top 5 there?
Well, look, man, the Yankees got huge pitching concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other than Garrett Cole, that whole rotation's on the DL.
Yeah, they had a lot of injury issues.
I mean, it looks good on paper, but they can't even get on the paper, much less on the field. Like, I got concerns.
Yeah.
And then, again, the Astros, I'm just down on the Astros. I just am.
All right, so we'll go.
They might make the playoffs because they're in a horrific division.
You're saying the Astros are, whoa, let's back it up. The Astros are going to make the playoffs. Calm it down.
I think they could make the playoffs, possibly.
Oh, my God.
All right, man, Seattle's going to be better. Look, crazy. The Texas Rangers are going to be better.
Well, they can't be worse. Look, when you're laying on the basement floor, up is the only direction you have to go. Like, it's not. There's only one way forward for the Rangers. It's not like they had a lot of room to fall further. They were they were rock bottom. So it's only up from here. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to be better.
Well, look, DeGrom.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Perez pitcher. The Rangers, they got some Evalade.
I'd like to go down and see a Rangers game. You laughed at
the stadium's gorgeous. Remember, I was going to go there or the Cowboys preseason game when I was in Dallas that night. I went to the Cowboys game, which I don't regret. Beautiful stadium. Nice,
I need to
cleanest
drive down
stadium
to
I've
Texas
ever been
trip.
in.
Chelsea and I were talking about going down to
and there's a live
trip,
casino right there with sports bars and all.
We need to do that. I need to put that on my long weekend trip list this year for sure.
Yeah, I think that area right there, the Rangers Stadium's beautiful. Yeah, man, that'd be a good time. I mean, feel free to invite me if you'd like.
Yeah, we want to go down to Waco too. We watched that Chip and Joanna Gaines. They have that whole bakery.
I'm out on Waco ever since that Koresh thing.
Yeah, but Baylor's right there, so I thought it'd be cool to go down in the fall. Catch
I'm
a
out
Baylor
on
game.
that ever since that Art Browse thing.
Yeah, all right. So Dodgers 6, Blue Jays 7, Rays 8, Phillies
Blue Jays
9.
7. Yeah, get the Blue Jays out of there. They're from Canada.
I don't like that either. Well, I don't. Canada's nice, man. I've been to Canada. It's a good time.
Really? I think it sucks.
Good beer. I had some poutine that was really, really good. Really good beer though.
Poontang, what?
Poutine. It's like fries with gravy and cheese curds. It's good. It's delicious. Mariners rounding out the top 10. Then we'll jump in here. Cardinals 11, Brewers 12, Indians 13th. Yes, I said the Indians because I refused to say the Guardians. Angels 14th and Twins 15th. Yeah, I mean, I probably agree with where they're set. Red Sox, obviously, they have fallen far. They're setting 16th.
Man, that franchise.
The Rangers, look who's not on the basement floor anymore. 17th in the good old power rankings. So look how quickly they
Look,
climbed.
I'm telling you, the Rangers are sneaky.
Yeah.
The Rangers are sneaky. Remember I said that.
I know. I believe you. Like I said, it can't get worse. The Giants 18th, and the White Sox, whom we will not give out plays for this year, 19th. Orioles,
come on,
20th.
live a little.
No.
How are the White Sox ahead of the Orioles? The Orioles almost made the daggone playoffs last year.
I feel like the Orioles are one of those teams that really get disrespected every year, and they play good baseball.
Well, if you've ever been to Baltimore, you'd see why that place is a war zone.
It's not great. I mean, the Inner Harbor is nice in Baltimore, but you get outside the Inner Harbor.
Look, the Inner Harbor is beautiful.
Is pretty though.
The problem with the Inner Harbor is that in the power plant district is beautiful, but you get 2 blocks away from the Inner Harbor and you feel like you've landed in Ukraine. That's the problem.
It's bad. It's not good. So
most inner cities have drive-bys. They got missiles flying down the street. I mean, just tanks.
I wouldn't be surprised with that. I've been to Baltimore. It's it's Baltimore. Cubs 22nd, Diamondbacks 23rd, the Kansas City Royals 24th.
Yeah, you wear that hat loud and proud, buddy.
That's about
you run out of toilet paper. There's something on the top of your head to help you with that.
Well, look, it's just to talk about the Royals. They have no pitching. I mean, when you're running out Zach Greinke as your opening day starter, you know you got problems.
I saw that. I was like, Greinke's still in the league?
Yeah, I thought he was off playing World of Warcraft somewhere. I don't know. So yeah, the Royals have problems. Now I will say they can score runs and their bullpen.
Who, the Royals?
Yeah.
Well, they're playing a 12-year-old. Are they going to be in this 8U softball tournament I'm getting in on Saturday?
That sounds like their bag. Yeah, maybe you might see them there. The bullpen's gotten a little better. I think they can score some runs. They have some young talent. Their starting pitching, though, is going to be not very good. I expect them to probably hang real close to that 500 mark, which not very good. Detroit Tigers 25th. Also, they're struggling. The Reds 26th, which I have a funny thing about the Reds here. We'll talk about this after the rankings. Pirates 27th, Rockies 28th. Your Washington Nationals lighting the world on fire 29th.
That's right, baby.
And
that's right.
And where the
Natitude, I'll tell you what natitude is. It's called alcoholism this year, buddy. That's what natitude is. Straight alcoholism.
Yeah, and then of course the Oakland Athletics round out the top 30 there.
You'll refer to them from now on as the Las Vegas Athletics.
Well, whenever they sign that deal, I'll be more than happy to do that. I did think this was funny. So for the Cincinnati Reds, Ken Griffey Jr. will have the 4th highest salary for the Reds this year because of deferred money.
Hey, look.
These baseball contracts are hilarious.
Maybe Lamar Jackson needs to call up Griffey's agent and be like, hey.
He needs an agent. Like if he had me or you as his agent, he would be doing better right now, I think. That he's doing on his own. I think him not having an agent, and there were rumors, obviously we're going to get into this with the NFL news, that he turned down $200 million in guaranteed money. So that's
$200 million from who?
The Ravens. I
think that's a rumor. I think they guaranteed him like 160 or so. But look, now the Colts, old crazy Jim Irsay,
don't want any guaranteed contracts. Yep, somebody let Jim Irsay out.
Yeah, somebody let Irsay out of the nut house. And look, the Colts are going to sign him.
I hope somebody does. All right, we'll jump to that. But the Griffey thing, how funny is that with Major League Baseball? These deferred contracts. I mean, Griffey's going to be getting paid forever. And it wasn't a small amount, dude. It was like $5 million.
So listen, for all of you people that are like, man, players should get paid. Players should get their guaranteed contracts. Look, these guys make insane money. And I'm not saying they don't earn it. But the equivalent to Ken Griffey Jr., if you look at when he played, that would be like if Emmitt Smith this year was the 4th highest paid Cowboy, was Emmitt Smith.
Yep.
Just let that sink in.
Yeah.
Like the 4th highest paid 49er this year is Steve Young. Steve Young, he retired like 22 years ago. I know that's what we're saying. Yep. Like Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid $1 million a year from the Mets.
He'll get paid that forever, man.
They're they're like, hey, Bobby Bo, can we give you $20 million? You know what? why don't you let me help you with the cap? Just give me $1 million a year for the next 42 years. And they're like, man, only $1 million? All right. I mean, we ain't going to miss that. Now you're the laughing stock of baseball. Bobby Bonilla keeps getting $1 million till like 2033. He hasn't suited up for a game since 1996, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. That dude did it right though, man. That's like a guaranteed $1 million check every year. Like I could live on that for sure. All right, we're going to turn our attention to a little NFL news. Obviously, we chatted a little bit about Lamar. We'll talk about this some more. This is for me an obvious where all these owners got together.
Sorry. Okay. I just had to look this up. All right. Every year on July 1st is called National Bobby Bonilla Day in New York. Because that's when he gets paid. They have a holiday. Don't worry, Mets fans. The contract runs out really soon. 2035. The guy, look, that agent.
He's got 13 more years of $1 million checks.
Listen, Bobby Bonilla will be drawing Social Security before his daggone deal with the Mets is over with.
Yep. That's just craziness. All right, we'll jump to the Lamar thing. I think this is interesting because all the owners have clearly gotten together on this, and they're like, "We're not."
Oh yeah, there's more collusion here than Russia.
Yeah, yeah. So the guaranteed contract thing, obviously, Irsay came out with his comments. We don't want guaranteed contracts.
But then said that he would consider it.
Yeah, and then Sherman came out with a weird thing. He was blaming Mahomes and Allen for, like, they should have pushed for guaranteed contracts. Look, they're trying to win rings, dude. Like, Patrick Mahomes and Allen both made the decision, look, we will make more money off the football field than we'll ever make on it. I want to win rings. And so you take a little less money, and you don't push for a fully guaranteed contract. I mean, what was Patrick Mahomes' contract last year with the Chiefs? It was like $24 million.
Well,
I think this year it jumps to 30.
He's the 8th highest paid quarterback.
Yep. But you don't hear him screaming for a redo. I don't think he really cares.
So listen, I think that first of all, I don't think it's a coincidence that the Washington Commanders had 2 bids all of a sudden when this Lamar Jackson news broke.
Yeah, 2 $6 billion bids. And I thought it was funny. Did you see the clip of McDaniel? And he's like, it's worth that much? Man, I couldn't even get free coffee when I worked there. That was hilarious. He was at a press conference and he was sitting at the table and they were like, yeah, they have these bids for Washington. They're $6 billion. And he like did a double and was like, the franchise is worth that much? He's like,
who is this?
Even get free. McDaniel's the coach of the Dolphins. He's like, man, I couldn't even get free coffee when I worked there.
Well, look,
I mean,
that would they say Snyder bought that for $750 million,
something like that. It'll sell
Talk about an insane investment that paid off. Like, I know the man's been
ran into the ground too, which is interesting. Like,
you know what? But what does he care?
It up and it's worth more.
Yeah, I mean, you made $5.3 billion.
No, I get that part, but I'm saying,
look,
like,
you're going to have made more than that because he's made money every year.
Yep, true.
I mean, so again, that just goes to show. I mean, look, if you got money, it won't buy you happiness.
Money, it's a whole lot easier to make more money.
Yeah,
like if you got it, you can make a lot more of it.
Well, same thing with gambling, right? The more you can bet a game over time, the more money you're going to make. But for Washington, I don't think, I mean, I know they only got like $1 million in cap space, but I truly believe, especially the group, Harris, that has Magic Johnson. Believe. I really think that group's going to make a run at Lamar. The problem is Irsay's the guy that's going to make the move here.
Yeah.
And I agree. I wouldn't give Lamar the 5, 6, 7 year fully guaranteed deal. What I would give Lamar, though, what I would be willing to give him, I'll give Lamar $250 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
With the first 3 years at $50 million a year, it's $150 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'll guarantee the first 3 years.
Yeah.
The last 2 is $75 million a piece.
Yeah.
But you got to make it there.
Yep.
You got to make it by it. And let's be honest, the route we're going 4 years from now, I mean, somebody's going to be making $70 million anywho.
Yeah.
I would say Lamar, all you're signing you to a 5-year, $250 million, first 3 year guaranteed, or I'll give you 3 years. All right. At 170, all of it guaranteed. And then you can get paid again when you're 29.
Yeah, the way these NFL contracts are going, they're getting to be on like European soccer contracts with Cristiano Ronaldo, $120 million a year. Like the NFL, they're going to be there with these quarterback contracts before you know it. I mean, in 5 years, I think quarterbacks 60, 70 plus million a year is very much realistic, especially as the cap continues to grow. So contracts are getting crazy. All right, we're going to jump to this next crazy story that I think we're all tired of talking about, all tired of hearing about, but we have to talk about it. Aaron Rodgers. So Packers and Jets apparently are stuck on pick protections for the Jets if Rodgers retires after this season. All right, I have questions. If Rodgers is only going to play 1 season, what is the point? The Jets are not winning the Super Bowl this year. What are you just going to sell tickets? Like, if he's only going to play 1 year for you, I don't think it's worth it for the Jets.
Well, look, again, we just got through talking about Snyder with the Redskins, right? How relevant, how in our lifetime, I have never heard the Jets talked about or on ESPN or Fox Sports or talk radio as
All
much
day,
as
every
I
day.
have with this Aaron Rodgers thing. And
All day, every day.
every game will be a sellout. Everybody thinks they're going to the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. Which, look, this new news with Lamar willing to go play in New England and Kraft saying it's up to Belichick. If you put Lamar in that division, I'm sorry, folks, the Jets are finishing last even with Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but look, I love what Green Bay's doing because Green Bay said, look, we're not protecting the picks. Oh, you're scared if he walks out on you? Welcome to our hell the past 5 years.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. Green Bay's already moved on.
Mm-hmm.
They are in the position of, Jets, if you want him, this is what you give us. If not, he can't go play with the Jets. He can't retire and go play. He's under contract. We're
And how many
going with
more years is he under contract with the Packers? 2.
2. So he can come back here and play, or he can retire. Or y'all can give us, he wants to go there. Y'all want him. Y'all want to get in bed with each other. That's great. This is the price tag. And no, we're not giving you protection.
And I hope Green Bay holds.
Oh, they are. They are.
I hope
they
they
are. They're
Well,
holding
did you
firm.
see the GM was like, Aaron Rodgers basically like throughout this, he just ghosted me. Like he won't answer. Like we're trying to work out this deal, and he's just like, he won't talk to the Packers front office anymore. Doesn't
Yeah,
want
so
anything to
Green
do with
Bay's
them.
like, we've already moved on. Sorry about your bad luck.
It'll be interesting to see how this one continues to play out. Obviously some fun news here because I like these. Eagles bringing back the Kelly Green uniforms as an alternate this year
Really?
with the old helmets. I'm excited.
Oh,
about
those
this one.
jerseys. Those jerseys are better than what they were now. Those Kelly Greens were.
100%.
So with the gray pants. So how many games are they wearing these things?
I didn't see how many games. I just saw that they were going to bring them back, but it's going to be the jersey and helmet with the gray pants. I'm super excited. I love this look for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it's a great classic
Hey,
jersey.
I think the Giants should go back to the old classics that says Giants on the helmet. Like I hate their new.
I do too.
You know,
Yeah.
They need to go back to the old one. Look, man, I thought the Redskins had the prettiest uniform in football.
They just
until-
need to go back to the Redskins altogether. But
but I think Buffalo needs to go back to their old ones.
I agree.
With the red helmets. Dude,
I like the red helmets.
Yeah, Buffalo with those red helmets was legit.
Were slick. Yeah.
But still,
I remember playing Madden when we were in the apartment. And you did like the Madden career thing, and I always picked the Jets or the Bills because I thought they had one of the best looking uniforms with those red helmets.
Well,
like the red helmets are sharp.
Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James Lofton, Don Beebe, Steve Tasker, Pete Metzelaars. Buffalo was legit back in the day. I think Miami needs to go back to their original ones. These new Dolphin thing, that's ugly. They need to go back to the Dolphin jumping through the sun.
I like the old Titans, the white helmet with the...
Yeah, they need to go back to the white helmet. I agree with that. Look, the greatest uniform in sports history has got to be the old Houston Oiler powder blue with the white and red Oiler. The Houston Oilers, that jersey during the Warren Moon era, was the greatest jersey in all of sports.
Houston should change the name from the Texans to the Oilers and bring those back. Oh.
Yeah, who wants that Texan stuff? Yeah, there you go.
That's not good.
The Oilers. The Oilers.
Yeah. Should change it to the Oilers and bring those jerseys were awesome. All right, so the big news obviously this week's been talking about a little Thursday night football. So changing the rules on this, teams are eligible to play Thursday night football twice. And now they are talking, well, I mean, they've already decided they will be able to flex games from Sunday to Thursday. 1, horrible player experience. 2, horrible fan experience. Like people who pay for tickets to go to this will never
get approved.
It can't.
Both the owners and the NFLP, even the owners, John Mara came out and was talking about what about the fans that schedule trips. This is never going to get approved. It's a stupid idea. It makes no sense.
No. Well, what they're trying to do though, they're trying to make the Thursday night product better. Okay, schedule better games. We can tell you when the Thursday night schedule comes out before the season even starts, it's going to suck. It's not like you don't know. The teams that you schedule to play each other suck. Like
Look, I agree with you. There's a couple surprises. There's a couple people that go from worst to first, right?
But it doesn't happen. Like you have a good idea when you look at that Thursday night schedule of what games are going to be good and which games are going to be snooze fest.
Listen, again, I don't know why the NFL doesn't. I mean, they're going to give Roger Goodell a bag and I could do twice as good a job. First of all, you have Amazon and Jeff Bezos. And cut this
upset about last season.
So somebody cut this clip and send it to him. You got Amazon with Al Michaels and Herb Street. And they arguably are chomping on the heels of NBC, who I think, look, when you talk about football and what NBC Sports does and how they've built that, right? I don't think that anybody does it better than NBC right now. Okay?
They're good. Yeah, I'm already ready for football season.
However, Amazon's getting close.
Yeah, they're good.
Listen, it's so hard to stay up late for these things on the East Coast that it is. So here's the fix. All right? You move Thursday night to Friday night.
Yep.
There's nothing on TV Friday nights. People don't go out like they used to bars and all. And even if they do, it'll be on TV. Move it to Friday night. There's nothing on Friday nights to compete with.
Nothing.
I mean, every once in a while, you got some Thursday good college football. Put it on Friday nights. Nothing else is on Friday. And then secondly, you just say, look, half the league, I get it. I get it. We live in the world of equality. And the guy that works 5 hours a week should make the same money as the guy that works freaking 80 hours a week. Well, I'm sorry. Not everybody gets a binky in life. So half the league, I'm sorry. If you want a primetime game for more revenue, don't suck. And they'll give you nobody wants to watch the Atlanta Falcons in primetime. Nobody gives a rip, even when Murray was playing, about the Arizona Cardinals on freaking primetime football. No. The Rams should not get a primetime football game this year. All right? It's not hard to, I mean, the Houston Texans, why in God's name do they need a primetime game? Do you just put them on to hope the fans don't have to stay up and watch a game? Like, put good teams on. The Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Eagles. I mean,
there's a lot of good teams. Like, I mean, it's not like it's that difficult to find.
Look, I mean, put on a Giants-Niners game. Look, why does anybody in the freaking NFC South need a freaking primetime game? For what? Nobody wants to watch the Saints. Nobody wants to watch the Bucks.
Hey, the Bucks got Baker Mayfield, all right? There's 3 or 4 people out there that want to watch.
Look, the Bears blow. But look, if you want to put the Bears
this year, the
Bears got a great following. If you want to put the Bears on, put a Bears Lions or a Bears Packers on Friday Night Football, right?
Bears, any of those teams in that division.
Put Steelers Browns on, a good old rivalry, right? Like
Chiefs Raiders. It's
not hard, folks. And here's the thing: this is why Monday Night Football finally had to empty the purse for Aikman and Buck, is because those games have sucked for the past couple of years too. I mean, this past year we got some of the better games that there's been in the last 5 years. Look, Sunday, Monday night, and Friday night should be moved to. Those should be 3 of the 4 best games. The other best game is whoever has the 4:25 p.m. Eastern time slot on Sunday.
Yep.
All right.
I
don't need 10 1 o'clock games and a game to be relevant on Sunday morning.
No. And I love the Friday night idea. I think for the fans too, like you go out, get off work a little early on Friday, go out there, tailgate party, live it up, because tomorrow's Saturday and you can recuperate. So like Friday night makes a lot more sense. I don't think they'll ever do it, but they should. It's one of those things where you're like, how have they not thought of this yet? Like Friday Night Football would be perfect. And so I guess some of the stuff that makes the most sense in your head is the stuff that takes them the longest to figure out. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think I'm cool with I think it's great that they're doing the Black Friday game the day after Thanksgiving, having one of those.
Yeah,
they're doing. But look, here's another thing. I don't need 3 games on Christmas.
No.
I mean, again, it's all watered. I mean, did you watch those Christmas Day games? How horrible they were?
Busy with Christmas.
Well, not just that. You're busy with Christmas, and that's the, now.
I had a 12-ounce filet, and I had king crab legs, a nice bottle of wine. That's what I was worried about on Christmas.
Yeah, so, look, but again, I don't mind the Christmas Day games. I like them. But just give me 2 good ones. Give me a 4 o'clock and an 8 o'clock. I don't need 1 o'clock or 12:30. Everybody's still in Christmas and all. You can't sit and watch a game.
No.
Right? And that was probably the better game, Packers Dolphins. So I don't need to see Bucks Cardinals as the 8 o'clock game. I've had a long day. Kids are played out there in bed. I want Bills Cowboys.
Yeah.
I want Chiefs Niners.
Yeah.
I want Packers and Raiders. I want I want 2 good games in the nighttime.
Yep.
A 4 o'clock and an 8. Somebody get Goodell's on the phone. And when you're done with him, get me somebody else after him.
All right. We'll look at the other thing that was talked about this week. And the NFL came out when they were trying to figure out the thing with the Bills and Bengals and title games and locations. This idea was floated about neutral site conference title games in the NFL, which was
that's a horrible idea.
One of the stupidest ideas ever.
Horrible idea.
The NFL has said they have not considered and don't plan to. I think this is a good move by them. Look, the whole point is having teams play for that number 1 seed, right? It means something. Home field advantage means something. We do not want to take that away from the NFL. That's what makes your teams play a full season, right? And push for that number 1 seed. So I'm glad they're kind of moving off that. I think there for a little bit they saw dollar signs of, hey, we could move these to neutral sites and make more. It's just stupid. It's a horrible fan experience, horrible for the teams. I'm glad they're moving off that. A quick one here with the Falcons, because you talked about them. They do plan to start the season with Ritter at quarterback. Man, Falcons would be a team, like, why are you not all in on Lamar? Like,
Well, Arthur Blank came out and he said Lamar hasn't been available enough. He's missed too much time the past 2 years. I mean, threw him under the bus, ran him over, back up, got out, made sure he still was
you're
dead,
planning
ran over
on
him
starting
again.
the season with Desmond Ritter. So, I don't know. I'd probably take a chance on Lamar if it was me. But
Look,
hey, I'm not an NFL.
They're the Falcons. The only time the Falcons have truly, like, I get it. They got to a Super Bowl with Chris Chandler and the Dirty Bird, Jamal Anderson. That was a fluke year. They got there with Matt Ryan when Matty Ice was put on ice and is a part of the greatest Super Bowl comeback ever. That was a fluke outliner year. Outside of 2 fluke years, the only time the Atlanta Falcons have ever been relevant in their whole
Michael
franchise's history was when Dion was there. It's the only reason anybody tuned in to watch him.
Well, Michael Vick, when Vick was there.
Well, that's true, Vic. Other than Vic and Prime, the Falcons in 2 outliner years, the Falcons have been irrelevant their whole existence. That's another one that needs to go back to their throwback jersey, the old red ones. They've
I do
been
like the old red Falcons.
they've
jersey.
been an absolute dumpster fire. Arthur Blank, good man. I like him a lot, but your franchise blows.
Yeah,
They blow.
I agree with you.
And guess what? Desmond Ritter, he'll be bagging groceries at your local supermarket in 2 years.
Well, hopefully not that bad.
Either
Okay.
that or saying, would you like fries with that?
Yeah. All right. Well, look, the last piece of NFL news I have, unless you have something else, I just thought it was funny. They were asking Sean Payton, has he gone back through the film for the Broncos last year? And he's like, yeah, it was really difficult to watch. Yeah, it was because they were awful. And then the weird thing that came out with this is they're not going to move off Sutton and Judy.
That's right.
But why was that ever a question? Like, would the Broncos really offload Sutton and Judy? I mean, that's 2 huge offensive weapons for the Broncos. Like, was that ever in consideration? I never thought it was, but the fact that you got to clear it up's a little odd.
I don't know, man. And Sean Payton, I trust. I mean, he's going to get that thing right. I believe that.
Yeah.
At what cost and how long that process takes, God only knows, man. God only knows.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's the show for us tonight. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know we did. We'll be back with another
Well,
episode.
hold on. Whoa.
I thought you talked enough, man. I'm like, these
We're-
people need to get out of here.
You're going to put me down to 1 show a week and then not even give me John's Gambling Corner?
I mean, you did John's Betting Corner at the beginning. I thought we had covered all the bases.
I mean, I got notes.
All right. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I tried to save you, but I couldn't. John, what you got in your
I
betting
mean,
corner tonight?
come on.
Horse, baby.
Feed the horse. I mean,
Yeah.
4-0 this week. The people want to hear what I got to say.
Okay.
Never
Give it to us.
All right,
I'll
so
just
look,
step back and listen.
baseball, everyday value is extremely important. Baseball is a grind, right? A lot of people don't do it. I've said this before. You got to grind out winners each and every day, okay? It's not easy by no means. By the way, I'm just watching King Griffey Jr. here. Sweetest swing ever in baseball history.
Yep.
But
He's
anyway,
taking batting practice the other day, and he still has it.
still
He
has
still
it.
has it for sure.
Such a beast. But look, man, it's a grind. You're grinding out winners. But the bigger thing with baseball is there's more. It's more about units than your normal betting, right? Because your normal betting -110, -120. But now you got lines coming into play with baseball, right? Minus $1.40, plus $1.30, all that other stuff. So, and you got to look every day. There's a value game somewhere on the board. You just got to find it, right? Every day you have a value game. So, and I'll give you a couple examples here. For one, the Houston Astros are the World Series champs. So they're going to be overvalued every single day. Every single day. Like, again, I'm not taking them tomorrow because they're playing the White Sox. But, I mean, you don't even have your best
Maybe we
player.
should.
You don't even have your best player. It's Sunday Night Baseball, and you're laying $1.65. I mean, look, how many times will the Astros be a $2-3 favored Like, so they're going to be overvalued the whole year. A couple other things. I said this last week's show. We're going to start out very slow in baseball. All right. The first couple weeks here, lay off over-unders. I'm not an over-under better. I think it's hard enough picking the side, but if you are going to bet over-unders, don't do it these first couple weeks, okay? Because you got to be able to establish who has the advantage with the new rules. Does the pitchers in the defense have the advantage, or do the batters have the advantage, right? So you got to determine that. And so don't get wild and crazy and playing a bunch. And then don't not play him and go 3-0 tomorrow. If you would have played him, be like, oh, John cost me money. Slow down, Trigger. All right. Anybody can have a great day. It takes a winner to win 365 days a year. That's why all y'all are working your job you hate, and I'm gambling and giving you winners.
Smart, right?
No.
On the bump.
No. That's gonna be a hard no.
I had to. Hey, I mean,
right? I want Royals. They don't fit what I'm trying to do.
I want winners.
Exactly. Thank you, Coach.
I mean, you're talking about Zach Greinke versus Pablo Lopez, though. There's a chance the Royals sneak this one out at home. Come on, it's not like it's a foregone conclusion they're going to lose.
All right, you run a really great podcast, probably the best one in sports, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you. When it comes to gambling, don't outthink me. You'll hurt yourself. Just sit there and look cute with your Amish beard.
Last season, the Royals were 71-65 as the underdog. So,
oh my God,
I'll let you.
We're off the rails. All right. So listen, you got to value the home team in baseball. 70% of teams, they play better at home. Okay, so there's value with the home team, especially. Shut up with the damn Royals. No wonder they want to move.
My point, I was just trying to
make. Anyway, listen. Worst bet in sports. The worst bet in sports is the +1.5 in baseball. It makes no sense. Like, you're an idiot if you play +1.5. Because think about it. You're turning an underdog into a favorite. Okay? So, if you lost the bet, you're taking an underdog.
Yeah.
If they're +130, plus a run and a half, they're going to be -140, 145.
Oh,
so you're taking. So, and the only way.
My brain ain't working.
Yeah, no. The only way it justifies you winning your bet is if they lose by 1. Because think about this. Sure. If you take them at plus money on the money line and they lose, let's say you bet $100, you lost $100. If they lose by more than 1, right? Mm-hmm. Which 70% of games go more than a run. Mm-hmm. Now you lost even more money. So it only justifies your bet if you only lose by a run. So it's the worst bet in sports. Don't do any +1.5. If you're going to lay a run and a half, I think that's a horrible move as well. However, if you're going to do it, laying 1.5 with a home team is very hard to do. Do you know why?
Laying 1.5 with a home team? I don't.
Yes. Because if they have the lead going into the 9th, you got 3 less at bats.
That's true. Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're laying 1.5, which again, I say this, laying points, laying wood, laying anything on the road, right? Again, if you get laid on the road, you're coming back with the clap. That's all I got to say. All right.
Jeez, that took a dark turn real quick.
So listen, it's just not a smart thing. All right. 20%, like I said, 20% to 20 to 25%, the games are decided by 1 run. So even if you take +1.5, you only really got or -1.5. Either way, you only got a 10% chance of hitting that thing. Yeah. Right. So again, you want to be smart. You want to look for value. There's a value play on the board every day. Now, there may be some days I take off because I'm just not seeing the board well, Or, hey, look, I just rolled off 7-8 winners in a row. Let's
Can't
not
be an
squeeze.
action junkie.
Thank you. You learn well, young grasshopper.
I do. Yeah.
All right,
I pay attention.
you can't be an action junkie. It's a long season, guys. I say this all the time. And we had a very mediocre to bad March, but I say this all the time. I don't know how we're going to get there. I just know we're going to get there. We're going to at least be 150 games over 500. The path or route, I'm going to lose 2 to 4 months out of the year. Okay? Anybody that tells you they win every day, and it's funny, the only thing I see people post is what they win, or they always talk about the wins. I talk about the losses.
Never going to talk about the losses.
I talk about the losses just as much because I want to be as transparent as possible, okay?
Yeah.
But it's very, very important that you understand it's a grind. Again, there's a whole lot better things to do than watch baseball all day long, okay? There just is. So if you're a free play player, I know you're like, free. Call me, reach out to me, okay? Send an email, all right? And let's get you on board for baseball. And if you get on board for baseball, you'll want to be on board for football. There's amazing football season, okay? Hockey playoffs are coming up. NBA playoffs are coming up. My last couple hockey NBAs were starting. Again, games are starting to mean something. So now I'm starting to get hotter, okay?
Yep.
It all comes full circle. So you guys will hear this on Thursday. I hope you get in time. I'll give you one free play for tomorrow. It doesn't go off till 10:10 Eastern time. But we're going to take the Seattle Mariners minus $1.21 right now. Now, here's my thing with Seattle, okay? You say, well, Bieber's going. Bieber's so great. I understand that. Cleveland is 1-6 their last 7 games in Seattle. Shane Bieber has lost his last 3 outings in Seattle. Seattle, I'm telling you right now, that team, Castillo pitched well when he came over. That team's going to be in contention to win that Western Division. The Indians, I like their pitching, but their bats, I'm suspect. I like the Mariners to come out of the gates with Castillo, minus $1.20, $1.21. Here at PointsBet says $1.20, so let's just keep it even this first game. Seattle minus $1.20. That's your free play for Thursday night. I got 2 other plays. Also, like I gave out, I told you what I liked in the Final Four, and I like the double unit with UConn minus 125 to hoist the trophy. And I like Miami plus the 6 and Florida Atlantic plus the 2.5. But I think Florida Atlantic wins the game outright.
I would agree with that. I think Florida Atlantic gets it done.
Well, I'm glad you agree. I mean, your opinion's the only one that matters. Jeez.
Well, yeah. I'm a smart guy. Of course my opinion matters.
Don't be a fool. Let me help you. Don't be an idiot. Don't be cheap. I'm going to make you way, way more money than you're ever going to pay me. Yeah, I just am. All right. So don't be cheap. Sign up. Give me an opportunity. If you don't like what you get, look, you can always leave me. The Wild win tonight, 4-2. 2 points up on the Avs.
You don't listen to me, but I'm telling you, the Wild are sneaky good.
Yeah.
Any other?
I love you, my winners.
Well, there you go. All right. So with that, I think that's the show for us. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, we'll be back with another episode for you on Thursday. We have some things in the works that a daily show may be coming from us here. So we'll keep you posted on what that looks like. And of course, once football comes back around, probably once we get to like late July, we'll kick it back into the 2 episodes a week. But thank you all so much for the support. Listen, hope you enjoyed. Hope you all have a great weekend. Spring is here. Weather's starting to warm up a little bit. Lots of fun stuff to go out and do with the family. So hope you all enjoy. God bless. Thank you so much for supporting us through this. It means the world to us. We love bringing these to you every week, and we will continue to do so and have some exciting stuff in the future. So have a great weekend. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.
Love you, my winners.